Hello, my dear friends. Today I felt the desire just to share a little bit about the understanding of our mind. Because we are spiritual beings, in fact. Our real being is just pure existence, self-aware, vibrating in joy. And our energy, when it expands, that joy becomes just love, which is everything all around us. One ocean reflected inside us. Yes, this is what we are. But in us, what is going on? Because we are not enjoying most of our time. We are just entangled in the worry, suffering, pain. So what is going on? What is going on actually is that pure existence that we are, that pure spirit and pure love, Shiva Shakti, is reflected in the soul. The soul, which basic problem we can say it, or basic illusion, a basic lie around which we have built our existence in this world, is the ego. The thought of that existence, I am this person, that being, where actually the reality is that he is reflected in us, but we are not this body, this mind, this person, this human person. We are reflected in that, our existence. Because this is not the truth, it's a lie, what is called ego. All the problems start, all our suffering. But we have to understand, especially the people we are seekers of truth, we are trying to find back our truth, our real being. So we have to understand one main thing, first of all. We are living under the lie of the ego, and we cannot experience and see and identify with the real truth of our reality. So, in that process that we are approaching that, in our spiritual search, you can say, we have to realize, did I really achieve that or not? Because sometimes we are living under the ego to be like a yogi or whatever, and we believe we already are enlightened beings or whatever. But we have to be honest with ourselves. Did we really identify with that being? And we know for sure we are not this, or not? Or we still believe it and live under that illusion? Probably we didn't achieve it, probably. Maybe few did it. Not they did it, they received it. So if we didn't, we have to understand our reality is molded by that soul, that mind. And one very important thing I wanted to share today is the reactions of that mind, the reflections of that mind. Because when the existence is living under the filter of that soul, our mind, all our understanding of the world is based on that lie. Even if we receive truths, like for example when we get the messages from the saints or from the incarnations, and we know that is the truth for sure, we know it. But because it's under the filter of the mind, that becomes a mental projection and not our reality. And one very nice proof of that is that if that was the reality in us, not just a mental projection, imagine we learn from one incarnation, we have to just love everyone, forgive everyone. And that is part of us, is our reality, and not just a mental projection. We will behave according to that reality. But what is happening in most of us is that we receive all these learnings from the incarnations, from the saints, for example, all the teachings. And whenever we receive that, because of that filter of the mind, every single information we receive produces a mental projection in us. So the mind hold on to that truth, onto that belief, and it is part of the ego. It creates like a bubble, you can say, inside that ego, and the ego in a way follow that till a certain, you can say, till a particular depth, because sometimes it will follow, sometimes not, because it's not reality. Because if the ego has already another problems, another conflicts, it won't be able to follow that. For example, you will love everyone, yes, I want to be the love I love, but in reality, that person I cannot digest. So, I cannot love everyone. I forgive, yes, you forgive, you practice that, just as a mental bubble, mental projection. But when something really hard happens to us, it just gets stuck into our mind starts going around that problem and blaming that person or that situation, and we cannot forgive for reality, in reality. So we have to understand we are living under the mind unless we fully identified with the reality of our being, the totality. Totality is in us, the only thing in us. In everyone, but also living inside the soul. And the rest of the souls is nothing. Just a zero, hollow. There is nothing, no life in it without that existence that is living inside. So, if we are not already in that, we live under the control of the mind. And everything we learn is just a mental projection. For example, the guru, if there is a guru, the guru has to be like this, has to be like that. Just mental projections. Every teaching, we should be sweet. A mental projection. And then, when it's a mental projection, it's not only we cannot follow it in depth, and just that the truth become part of us and this is ourselves. It's not only that, but we use that to judge our world, the world around us, other people, and then we are becoming slowly, bit by bit, fanatic about it, and we judge others if the other ones are following that teachings or not, if they are really that essence or not. So we become, in our mental projections, we become just the opposite of the reality we are defending in a way. For example, Sahaya Yoga is the message of the Adishakti, the love of God for the humanity, to achieve the unity that we are only that ocean, and then share with everyone, and just love everyone, forgive everyone, and just accept everyone how they are, and be able us to be the love, the light of God. So, if there is any darkness around us, some people that in our mental projections, our mind judges negative, is the people that needs more love, more care, but not any hate, any attack, any darkness, because if there is darkness, it requires light and not more darkness. That is why one of the main problems in the future and in the present of Sahaya Yoga is, if we are going to become that mental projection of the message of the incarnation. Is the message of the incarnation we take with our mind and we mold it. And we do it according to our ego, and we impose on others, judge others, curse others, should beat others, put others in the fire, or whatever, which is not love, which is for sure against the real essence of the message of love. So what is in us at the moment, in this very moment? With what are we identified? With the ego and the mind, or just with the totality? It's for us to look at ourselves, realize it, and when we know, still we have to receive something more. Still we are identified with the body and the mind. We have to know our mind has taken over. The mind is controlling. The process of the mind is, it creates, because of the shape of the mind, to any information, any knowledge we get, a reaction, a projection, reflection, where the mind tries to mold that truth. And then it is not a reality what we have. So we have to know. We know nothing. We cannot say spirit is like that, a guru is like that, a yogi is like that. It's not the truth. Unless you are there, how you can explain what is there? We have to be there. At that moment when you are there, you can share if you feel like that. But if you are not, what we know is nothing. We know absolutely nothing. The human part will never know anything at all. It's an illusion. And we are living under that illusion. And there is only one way for the surrendering, which is the only way to give back that illusion to the reality in us. Is first to understand, I know nothing. There is nothing inside me apart from you. So I give everything to you. And whatever you bring in my life, I'll follow that message, even with my ego, even with that mental projection, because there is where I am now. But be very careful not to project on others, to assume this is the last and final truth. That truth will be the truth when I am that truth. When there is nothing else than that in me. Unless I reach that point, I'm taken to that point by you, by the Spirit. I know nothing. Because that is one of the biggest dangers in all the religions, is with some people in their mental projections try to control the teachings of the incarnation or the saint. Try to mold it, try to impose on others. They feel they know little bit more than others. They are little bit more chosen than others. Why? There is no chosen one. Sorry. We are all exactly nothing. Our ego is nothing. But in that illusion, I've been chosen. I know little bit more. I can tell to other ones. I can tell this is the only truth and not yours. We don't realize. We are completely lost in a very dangerous ego for the totality of the message of the incarnation. All the religions has been destroyed along the history, or you can say it, perverted in a say, changed in a way. And why are now we free if we didn't achieve or we didn't reach the final goal? We are not. Nothing is safe unless we are there. just there. And there is only one thing to do, is to take the teachings for yourself and leave the others in peace, in freedom, to achieve what they can, what they want. Because that freedom is given by God, and no one can impose the spiritual teachings to others. No one can impose. You can share, we have to share, but never impose. This is the truth, this is not. For you, for us, don't blame others, don't judge others, don't go against the essence to defend the essence, because it's a nonsense. That thing. And this is what, there is one thing I have said since many years, is the saviors of Dharma. The saviors of Dharma. There is some people in that ego that they feel they have to save the Dharma. They have to save the collectivity. They have to save Sahaya Yoga. What a dangerous ego. The one who destroys all the religions. Is it working in us? Do we know something? Did we achieve the final? If we achieve the final, you will never impose. We will never impose. You can share openly your truth, what you feel. Never impose on anyone, even on the fool. Don't go against the freedom given by God. Don't go against God to defend God. It's so very important, that thing. And we are in that point. In that point, what we are going to do with this beautiful message of Mother, where we are going to take it. Are we going to be humble enough to bow down our head and understand we know nothing? To live other in peace, in freedom? To trust the Spirit in everyone, and especially in the collective. Trust the collective. Don't think in our ego we are better than the collective. We know more. We can help control the collective to help. It's such an incredible ego and dangerous ego, that one. And we, everyone, myself, I say myself, I feel is the human nature of the ego that is going to try to take over, to destroy that beautiful message of love.